one interesting thing is, how is it that China, Japan, countries like this have managed to stay out of this ecosystem and build their own narrative of the history, which India or the Latin American countries or even the African countries are unable to do? And why these two countries, particularly Japan as well as China, have managed to keep their history, sanitized from the Western ideas?
So very clearly, if you look at the history of Japan or the history of China, they have controlled the foreigner very well. And by foreigner, I mean the missionaries. So they have controlled access to their country and other things very well. The Japanese threw them out. Although they went through a period of modernization, the missionaries tried to bring in their noxious ideas over there to control their minds also, away from Shintoism and Buddhism and other ideas. But the Japanese resisted that. The emperor was enlightened enough to say that this is corrupting our culture. They threw them out. So Japan was forced to open after their defeat in World War II. Only then this Americanization and other things have come in. But even then, their nationalist idea is very, very strong.
They remain very, very strong.
Yes, and they remain true to their history, their narrative. They control that. And the same thing with China. China has had a very strong identity about who they are as a people. The British have tried to colonize them through Canton, the Shanghai, and all those kind of Hong Kong, those places. They made them into drug addicts. They used opium that was grown in India was used to control those people over there. But eventually, the Chinese also have managed to control their identity. They control the narrative, and they're not going to corrupt it to suit anybody. However, in India, we have been kicked around by these five forces. And today, we don't find the willpower in the people who can change the policy to policymakers who understand these forces, these five forces I'm talking, and going and changing the narrative. That is not happening. And because that is not happening, our youth have suffered tremendously. The identity of India is corrupted so badly that nobody in India, whether it's a youth or an adult, you go and ask them, what are you as an Indian? Who are you? What are you? They are unable to answer that question. No, nobody can connect to the ancient civilization. Nobody can say, I am a proud and grateful inheritor of this civilization of my ancestors. Because we have all been deracinated. We have all been removed from Sanskrit. We have all been removed from the culture of the country. Everything has become alien for us. We have been deprogrammed to reject our ways, have a Pavlovian response. The minute somebody says Hinduism, you say communal. Where does that come from? That is the deprogramming that these five forces have done to us. So the youth has got no idea about their identity. They have no idea they've been played around. They have no idea they've been programmed, deprogrammed by the media, textbook, vested interest to react in this manner. Yes. So it requires our policymakers to come and say there is a problem today when we see universities like JNU and AMU and other such places going around and saying break up India and calling the Indian army as an occupational force. There is a reason they are products of such an education system. And it's only getting worse, sir. It's only getting worse. The youth, the very young children today also cannot connect with the culture of the country. They cannot. And this is a criminal neglect. This is a criminal neglect of our culture by the policymakers. So this is something that I feel deeply disappointed that we have not been able to change these things.
మా వేకప్ ఇండియా .tv లేటెస్ట్ అప్డేట్స్ ముందుగా మీకు రావాలనుకుంటే సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. అలాగే పక్కనున్న బెల్ ఐకాన్ ను క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఆల్, పర్సనలైజ్డ్, నన్ అనే ఆప్షన్స్ వస్తాయి. అందులో ఆల్ అనే ఆప్షన్ పై క్లిక్ చేయండి.